So hi, I'm Qistina Saffiya Bt Azhar. Today I'm going to tell you about kickback. What is kickback and payroll activity and purchasing activity. Okay, what is kickback? Kickback is a fraud, and this involves with two individuals. The first one is employee company, and the second one is a third party or vendor. What they do, the third party or vendor will give an unrelevant amount of money, a huge amount of money, to the employee company to help him work with fake invoice. So this action known as a corruption scheme because they involve bribery between staff and vendor. This kickback fraud happen or occur when the party give a fake invoice to the employee staff of the company, and the staff of the company help the third party vendor to assure the payment of fake invoice. The third party does not pay exactly the amount of the vendor need to pay. So what happened? The staff help the vendor. A vendor will give money or a present as a reward because the staff just help him to ensure the payment of fake invoice. So the payment just now, it's called kickback payments. This action is not good because the company victim go overbill because the fake invoice. So they will overbill or such as on service purchasing or others inventory. They will not got the clear amount of their transactions. The fake invoice will affect the real expenses in a company.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nik Aishah Bt Fakri, and today I will present part A, question B, which is suggest 3 internal control for each of preventive control, detective control, and corrective control to address kickbacks as in the case study. For the first one is preventive control. In preventive control, we have job rotation. Job rotation, which is company need to change employee every time they deal with the new supplier. This is to make sure they don't make fraud when they know the supplier, and they can take advantage in that situation. The second one is train employees. Company need to send their employees to the training center to train them for not taking bribe. And the last one for preventive control is forbid purchasing agent from accept any gift. Purchasing agent is one of the impact employees, which is closer to the supplier when they buy the inventories from the supplier. So the company need to forbid them by telling them what are the consequences by doing this. The second one is detective control. In detective control, we have duplicate checking of calculation. Company need to check the calculation twice in order to detect if there is any error in the statement. This is more easier to check if there is any fraud or bribe made by the employees. Next, we have preparing bank statement. Prepare the bank statement. An accountant will check it frequently when the company found any suspicious amount. They need to check the bank statement and prepare the new bank statement again. Last one, we have monthly trial balance, which is company need to make a monthly trial balance. This will be the easier way to detect the bribe because when we have the monthly trial balance, we know the amount every month. If there is any any wrong in the trial balance, we can detect it easily. For the last point in internal control is corrective control. The first one is maintaining backup copies of files. Company need to have backup copies of previous files if they found something wrong about the statement in the future. The second one is correcting data entry errors. Correct the data entry errors if the company found something wrong with the statement. This can make it easier, and this can easy for the company to find the employees that make the bribe and fraud. For the last one is resubmit transaction for subsequent processing. This is the company need to resubmit the transaction to check if there are any errors in the transaction, if their company make fraud, and um, and they can ask the employee if what the company found in the transaction is true or not, and the company can take action by him. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Mazliatul Akmar binti Ahmad. I'm from DIA 4E. I will present about part B, question A. My question is Introduction for Internal Control. Internal control, the process for reasonable insurance to achieve the following objective in internal control. A few points to achieve objective in internal control. The first one is safeguard, detect or prevent their invalid usage or disposition, make and keep the report with carefully to know and accurate information about assets in the company, provide an accurate and reliable information to make sure all people can use this information safely, provide the financial report based on the requirements, promote and increase the skill in operational, encourage to obey the management policy, comply the law and rules in the company. Internal control are the one of the important management team because internal control are the process that related with operating departments. Developing an internal control must have knowledge and understanding in information technology, which is IT, to achieve organization objective. The first one is preventive control. Preventive control is avoid from the problem before they arise. For example, hiring the qualified and experienced worker and separate their job, which is separate their duties. Next, detective control. Detective control is investigated the exist problem, for example, duplicate record, checking the calculation, provide the bank reconciliation, and the last one is prepare the monthly trial balance. The third one is corrective control. Corrective control is recognize and fix the problem that also correct the wrong information in the company. For example, make a backup copies and file correcting the data entry of error. Internal control are often segregated in two categories. The first one is general controls. Make sure the environment of the organizational are well managed and stable. For example, include securities of information technology, which is IT, infrastructure, and development and maintenance control. And the second is application control. Application control is avoid, recognize, and correct the transaction of the error and fraud in the programs.
Next, we move to payroll basic circle activities. Basic circle activities, they have 7 activities. The first one is update payroll master file. The second one is update tax rates and deductions. The third one is validate time and attendance data. The fourth one is prepare payrolls. The fifth one is disburse payroll. The next is calculate employer paid benefits and tax. And last one is disburse payroll, tax, and miscellaneous deductions. Next, we move to purchasing system cycle activity. We have 9 basic cycle activities in purchasing system. The first one is identify a need for products and service. The second one is find supplier. The third one is a request for quotation (RFQ). The fourth one is initiate head-to-head auctions or direct negotiations. The fifth is negotiate with suppliers. And next is agree terms and contract with supplier. And the seventh, the next is arrange and receive product service. Next is perform quality assurance. And last is analysis result and margin.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I am Cahaya Najwa Iman binti Muhammad Azman and I am from DIA 4E. Today I will talk about treat of the payroll system. First is the employee can check the employee's history easily. This is because the company is not put the password so that the either employee will can be easily access to the history employee's history. Second is the location of the checking is not privacy. This is because the company is locate the computer in the IT department so that many employee can go in and go out from the location. Third is supervisor not review or check the personal timesheet form. This situation can make fraud. So that if the supervisor is not checking the sheet, the employee can easily rewrite the time, such as they will increase the time and then they will get more wages. This can make the company more expenses because of the company have to pay more wages than make production. The fourth Okay. Fourthly, the company write the employee record manually. This can make fraud also because if the staff is record wrongly, such as the labor hour, the amount of the wages, so that the record is not accurate for the timesheet. Okay, the last one is employment can easily access the computer. Okay, this last but not least is employment can easily access the computer. Okay, the second one is straight of purchasing system. Okay, firstly, manually prepare the document. If the staff prepare the document manually, this can cause carelessness of the staff. Second is no receive record for the fixed asset. And the third one is manually prepare the check. This can cause the handwriting of the employee is different from other, so that if the check the cleanliness of the handwriting is not clear, the bank will send back the check to the company and not accept the transaction. The fourth one is no approval upon disposal of the fixed asset. This can cause if the auditor come to the company, if the auditor asks about the disposal of the fixed asset, the management will not.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I will present based on what Cahaya said before. Uh, I will explain about recommendation for each cycle. First, I will present about payroll system. First of all is put password in that computer. Only head of department of financial only know the password of the computer that used for payroll system. So from that, the company can easily avoid the fraud that made by an employee. This fraud is very important to avoid because employee wages or salary is very confidential. Okay, second is use the system that have more security, such as system that have security question that only certain person can log in into that system. From that, the company can avoid other employee to check history for other employees about wages or salary. Wages or salary of employees are very confidential, so that the company must keep in safe. Third is make a private place with card scanner. Do another room that only head of human resource department can enter to that room, and place the scanner at the door. So only who have that card can enter to that room. From that, other employee cannot enter to that room because certain person in that company only can enter because of have that card. Fourth is use fingerprint system to take attendance and hours work of employees. Okay, I'm done with the recommendation for payroll system. Now let's move to the last part is what is recommendation for purchasing system. Okay, first recommendation is do some research about supplier background and list down. By doing research about supplier background, the company can know about status and quality of product from that supplier. Uh, when the staff list down all the supplier, from that they can compare between supplier in order to get a good quality product at a lower price. So from that, company can reduce their expenses but get the fixed assets with good quality when do some research and compare. Okay, second is record the document in system. By doing this, the staff can reduce carelessness when record the document. Not only that, when record in system, we know that the data is safe from any problem such as natural disaster, such like flood. If the company still record it manually, they must make sure that the document is safe from any threat or anything that can make the document lost. As we know, system is very safe because it is automatically. Okay, third is record the fixed assets in computer system. The company must record the fixed assets in computer system in order to avoid losses of assets and to make reference for incoming day. From that record, it can make staff easy to check when the fixed assets have to maintenance and easy to calculate depreciation when that company have to record of fixed asset. When that company have the record of fixed asset. Fourth is buy check at the certain bank and buy check writer machine. From that, the expenses of the company can increase, but we can avoid from the bad writing of staff when they write the check. Better when the company buy the check from the certain bank because sometimes the check from the company, the bank was not accepted. Increase slightly expenses but can avoid big losses cause of bad writing when write the check. Okay, this is the last recommendation for purchasing system. Last but not least, make an agreement about approval upon disposal of fixed asset. So from that, when the fixed assets have to dispose, it has approval by management that state in the agreement that make before this. So from that, the company can avoid from theft or stolen by staff in the company. The fixed asset can be disposed at any time because in the agreement, the manager approve whether the fixed asset will be sold or disposed based on their capability. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
I will explain the flow chart. Okay, first is sales department. From the customer will order from the sales department through the phone, and then the staff will make the sales order and make the sales invoice. For the department, the sales invoice will go to the staff will record inventory control card manually, and then the staff will make a document of packing slip and picking slip, and then give to the warehouse manager. Picking slip will file in the will the picking slip will file and slip will place at the file and arranged by date. The third department is billing department. The sales invoice and the sales order will the manager will approve and signs the document manually, and then both document the sales invoice first they will go to the account manager. Other than that will go to the customer. The sales order and the sales invoice will go into the document of credit sale invoice, and then the staff will prepare daily sales summary. Other than that, the staff also will do the journal for account receivable ledger, and then go into the sales journal. Thank you.